The Evans Gambit is a super aggressive opening for white, and unlike most other gambits, it's actually approved by grandmasters. I tested it in 5 games against opponents of increasing ratings. These are the strongest plans and tactics for white, plus the 2 killer traps that 3 of my opponents fell for. Let's go. B4. This is the starting position of the Evans Gambit. My opponent already went for the refutation of it. They don't take the free pawn. And we will see this in the next game. For now, how do we develop all our pieces? Well, we will play the move c3, which is a very typical move in the Italian game, because we are going to fight for the center at some point with the move d4, but also, remember that, we're opening up the line, the diagonal for the queen, that can go on b3, attacking this point. And we could do this already, because I think d6 is a small mistake, since they are not taking care of the king. So let's play queen b3. Let's put them under pressure. How do they defend f7 right now? If they go with the bishop here, well then we can just take and we win a pawn. Queen e7 is a great move, defending the square. Now I will play the move a4, another typical move, wanting to harass this bishop. All good what they are doing. Also now giving an extra square to the bishop. So we keep going with our plan, which is to castle, getting our king to security. Bishop e6 is a move that is offering a trade of bishops. We will not be the first one to trade. What we want to do is to go out with all our pieces. I was looking at the move d4, but unfortunately it's just hanging a pawn for now. So we need to wait for that. We will just bring out everything, starting with the bishop. Now we are pinning this knight. If this knight is moving away, well, then the queen is in danger. Okay, my opponent played something very interesting, because they started to push pawns on this side and then they castled long. But I think we are in a very dangerous scenario, because we have opposite side castling. They are castling long, we are castled short. Meaning that the first one to pull out and attack will win this game. And we will try to be as quick as possible, starting with the move b5. I'm attacking the pawn and the knight at the same time. And now already this file is wild and open. Free for my rook to reach the last rank, directly attacking the king. I love it. The rook alone is not gonna give checkmate though. So we need to make sure we have all the other pieces as well ready to attack. I will go with the move knight here, and I have a very clear idea in mind. I want also to play for the move d4, because now this pawn is protected, very good. And my idea is that I want to open up the center. Where is that king going? The king is traveling around the entire board, but that's a bad news for them, because we have full control over the center. So what we can do now is to just open it up with the move e5. And already the queen and the king are feeling uncomfortable. Now, what my opponent did is not a bad strategy. Now they are running towards the king side, which is a bit safer for them. But how much time did they waste moving this king? While I'm improving my position, they are just going around with their king. And this makes my position always better. Look at my bishop now, super strong. Look at my rook, super strong. I'm already threatening nasty discovery attacks. For example, now the rook is looking at the queen, but there is the bishop in the middle. So I'm removing the bishop in a very powerful square, because I'm attacking the rook, I'm attacking this bishop, and now, boom, the queen is free for me. And the problem is that even if they take back, well, this is a big blunder, because it would have been just checkmate in one move. Queen take f7 is checkmate. And even if they take back, this king is still very much exposed. This bishop is still hanging, and the white has a dominant position here. Next game. And there we go. We have another Evans Gambit. Will they take the pawn? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so the main idea is that then we respond with the move c3, attacking the bishop. And this is already a wrong square where to go with the bishop. We want to keep control of the center. Now, once they take, we don't want to take back immediately because there would be bishop check. So we castle. And taking this pawn is now deadly. Deadly. Do you know why? There is a typical idea, and this of the bishop sacrifice. Because after king takes, then we go with the queen here, we are giving a check, attacking the bishop, and we have it. Oh my gosh. Okay, great. This is something that if you want to play this opening, you need to know very well. It's something that typically black can go very badly, very bad really quickly. So it's important to know that. Now we give a check and we are going to win this bishop back. So material is going to be almost equal. We are still down 2 pawns, right? Yes, because we are 2 pawns down, absolutely. But this one is going to fall no matter what, either with the queen or with the knight. And then what is our goal is that black can no longer castle, at least cannot castle in a natural way. So we need to be fast and furious to open up the center to attack as quickly as possible. Let's see where the king is now moving. I think we won't see where the king is going because my opponent disconnected and the game is going to be over in 5 seconds. Well, GG's, at least now you know the trap. White is already having a nice advantage here, +1. And the best square for the king to go, actually the best 2 squares are either e8 or f8. I think e8 is a bit more flexible because after this is not a check. But anyway, a huge problem for black is to deal with the move e5. Because simply knight there is followed by the move e5 where the knight will have to be moved one more time. Okay, next game. We try one more time our Evans Gambit. They take the pawn, we go for the move c3. Now they are 2 options. They're going again back here. Attention. We play the move d4, taking the pawn, and now it's very important to castle. Taking this pawn is deadly. Will they fall for the... Ooh, again! Oh my god, this works so often. Crazy. Now we take, and after king takes, we are going to deliver the check. There we go. Will they now play on? I hope so, because it's honestly not such a huge advantage. It's an advantage for white, but it's not that we are completely winning. If you look at the material, they are still up 2 pawns, right? Still a fight. d6 is very smart. They are attacking the queen. Now we can take back this pawn with our own queen. And okay, knight here is usually a tricky move because you always need to calculate the move e5. I want to open up the position and it can become really spicy. I will go for it. I'm not 100% sure that this is the right move here, but I have a clear plan in mind. And this is another idea that I want you to have if you play this opening. Knight there. Let me tell you the idea. After pawn takes, I wouldn't take back immediately, but I would consider the move bishop a3, because the bishop is blocking the king from castling. So I'm sacrificing another pawn in order to avoid the king. The king cannot castle. The king has been moving already. The king cannot castle. Okay, good to know, huh? Now, the knight is attacking the queen, so what is the best square for the queen to go? That's a good question. Could be b3, so we are blocking this pawn. Also looking at this diagonal. I like this. I like it. The knight is taking, which is a little bit surprising because this file is open and I'm sliding my rook immediately. Because the plan is quite clear. Now, if they... Well, this knight is under attack. If they defend it with the pawn, the knight is hanging. If they move it away, then they could have problem with this knight being pinned, right? There's still a move knight c5, which attacks the queen, winning a tempo. But I was thinking about this move. Very tempting, huh? They are taking, giving a check. And now if I take with the queen, maybe they have the move d5. But I'm thinking at a crazy move. Usually you should never weaken your king. But remember, material is very important. And now with the pawn, I'm attacking directly the knight. This check is deadly because you see my bishop cheering from the moon? We take the queen. It's hard to see this bishop from far away. I know that. I've experienced it many times as well. But now we have an extra queen. So we can take this knight and try to checkmate as quickly as possible. I expected a resignation. GG's. Quick analysis. Since in this position the king cannot castle, we don't really need to play it. My move e5 had the idea that after this, I can play bishop here, stopping the king from castling. But the king cannot castle, so we don't really need to sacrifice a pawn for that. So a very simple move can be to play rook e1 and keep developing all the pieces as quickly as possible with queen b3, knight here, bishop g5, and then go for the move e5. Before moving to the next game, let me thank the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. I've been traveling my entire life to play chess tournaments, and I always needed to be connected to hotel Wi-Fi in order to stay in contact with my family, or to prepare my games, or to check the latest massive updates in the chess world. But at the same time, I don't want to put my data at risk. That's why I never use public Wi-Fi without NordVPN, and neither should you. With just one click, you're safer online, and not only when connecting to public Wi-Fi, but also from home. Thanks to Threat Protection Pro, NordVPN keeps you safe from phishing, scams, and malware. If you start downloading a dangerous file, NordVPN notifies you. And here is my favorite part. You can watch your favorite content from anywhere in the world. And during a chess tournament, after a stressful game, there is nothing better than relaxing while watching your favorite show. So go to nordvpn.com/Alessia and get the 2 years plan with 4 free months on top. And yes, there is a 30 days money back guarantee, so you can try it at no risk. Thank you so much, NordVPN, for sponsoring the video. Let's go back to the game. So we are in the two knights defense. We can't really go for the Evans Gambit. I'll try to play castle. Let's see if there is any form of delayed Evans Gambit. Ooh, actually we can try the move b4. And after bishop here, we can go for the same ideas, I think. So we play c3. And now the bishop has 2 squares to go back. And now we play this. And after pawn takes, is like if we have castle and they have played the move knight f6, which is actually a mistake as well. Because they are not falling for the trap, but the problem is that there should be the move e5, and then this knight doesn't have many squares to go. Now taking is not the only option, but what else can they play? Because I'm attacking the bishop and the pawn. So it seems like the only move that is not losing material is bishop d6. But the bishop there is not in such a bad spot, since it's blocking the pawn from pushing, and so this bishop from developing. Okay, they are going for this move, meaning that we go for the move e5, getting space in the center, and attacking this knight, which has to move one more time. Where is the knight going? Over there, attacking here. I think I will take here back. I'm attacking this bishop, which has to move, defending this pawn, and then I'm ready to play the move h3 and to ask a question to this. Oh, actually, I can maybe play bishop takes, king takes, and then knight g5. Why not? Let's go for it. Because this knight is unprotected and we are going to take it. So we are going to win material. The only problem for us is that this pawn is going to be unprotected, but the king is going to be also very weak. So what is going to be more important? This pawn and potentially this rook, or the king? To be honest, I haven't calculated anything. So we're going to discover that. There we go, they are taking, we give this check, and now it's very important to see where the king is going. because it can make a big difference. And the king needs to go, in my opinion, on a light square. Yes, that's kind of good. I'm taking gear. And now what about bishop takes? That can be problematic, because how do we defend the rook? And usually I'm not too scared of giving away the exchange. I don't like this move because it gives us the opportunity to... okay, wait a second. So the queen is under attack. Of course, we don't go en passant in this case, but we could also think about pushing here. Or also give this check. Okay, let's play queen here. I'm threatening mate, and after this, then I'm giving a check because I'm giving the check to the king, plus attacking the pawn on h7, so that's much stronger. And now how to prevent the mate? Well, with the queen maybe, but then it gives me time to defend this this pawn, right? For example, if queen e7, I also have this beautiful move, which is very typical in the Evans Gambit, since there is no b pawn anymore. The bishop is multitasking here, having different purposes, but usually the main one is to block the king from castling. Anyway, the king can no longer castle. And the other one is, in this case, to attack the queen. But I just realized that if I play this, I lose my knight. So no, I'm not going to do that. So I might just go with the knight here, developing my knight, solving the problem of the rook, and attacking this pawn as well. This is sensible, makes sense. They could take here also with the knight, but then I could maybe take this pawn with the queen. And the position is still very complicated, but they cannot castle. So their king is stuck in the middle of the board, which is a very good news for me. h6 is a mistake. I'm sure it is, because after this, they don't have a way anymore to cover, so the king has to move one more time, and now I'm pinning the pawn, because the rook is under attack. Where is the king going? And I'm going to take this pawn next, attacking the queen, and with some new dangerous threats. And if the queen moves away, I mean, this could be checkmate. So the queen has to stick around. But maybe now we see it. Now the queen is going to be attacked by the knight. Has to stick around. But then I can maybe attack it one more time. For example, if queen here, I'm gonna play e6. So maybe queen e8 is the only move in this position. But then I have bishop a3 check. The bishop is activated, and there we go. And the king is running out of squares. The king cannot go there, so if the king goes here, we win a queen, and it's checkmate. And who can cover the check? The knight, we take it. The bishop, we take it. So black is just lost here. Okay, they are covering with the knight. We take... so the plan is now to play the move c5, right? That's smart. But we are still going to win massive amount of material. I'll take here. The king is taking. I take here, attacking this bishop. If this bishop is, well, the bishop has to move somewhere away, but then I have an extra piece. And there is a problem of the fork over there. So attention. Well, the only square is bishop there. Then I can reroute my knight so that I don't lose it. Looking to d6, which is a powerful check. Also attacking all these other pieces. There we go. Bishop is moving. We can give a check. We could win a pawn, but I'm not... it's not my main priority. My main priority is right now to bring also the rooks to the party. So there we go with one, and then we will go also with the other one on the d-file. It's very hard for them to bring their rook to the party, because this rook cannot help. They are attacking here, we defend, and this rook also cannot really join the action right now. So the king is trying to go towards h7, but now I can play knight here, attacking the bishop, and then my pawn is starting to march and go and go. Also, knight g6 is such a huge problem for them, since then the rook has to go there, and the rook is literally, I mean, terrible on h7. What is the rook doing there? Maybe the best move is actually to leave the rook there, to sacrifice the rook. And I won't even take it. Like, this rook is worth way less than our knight. Anyway, let's stay focused on our big goal, which is to promote this pawn, because that's the quickest way to get a win. Okay, the bishop is taking the pawn, but now we can just advance. There is almost no way to stop this pawn from promoting. Bishop there is the only way, but now this is a beautiful fork. With the knight, no way to defend this bishop, not with the king, not with the rook. And this is not fun for them. And GG's. Quick analysis, my move e5 was actually a mistake, because this allows the typical counterplay, counterattack in the center for black with the move d5. Now tactically this works for black, because after pawn takes knight, pawn takes bishop, I'm right now 2 pawns down, so if I don't have any sort of attack, I'm in trouble. And after check, the bishop can come here. Now if I take, the rook is coming, not there, sorry, but here. And black is actually fine. Instead, what is very important to play here is to first take here. The bishop is moving back, and now the move e5. And you might say like, okay, but what if black is going for the same idea? Well, now it's different. Because after we take the knight, they take the bishop, we give a check, they cover here, we take there, they go here with the rook. Now we have d5, forking. Before it was not possible. So this is so beautiful how a small difference can change the entire game. So please take first on d4. And there we go, final game with the Evans Gambit. We played the move before. Are they going to accept it or refute it? They go for the King's Gambit accepted. We're attacking the bishop and we go for the move d4. Okay, this seems everything according to the plan. Is a 1500, almost 1600 elo. Falling for the trap? No, but here there is another very sneaky trap and you want to see this. I take back here, I'm attacking the bishop needs to move, and now I play knight g5, I'm attacking this point twice. And what is the most logical move to defend it? But now the queen is coming here, and this position is like +3 for white, because the queen is not just threatening mate, but also this pawn. Now I can take it, and I want to think how to take it, with the knight or with the bishop. And probably with the knight, because after this, I can double. Ooh, beautiful. So now the queen is under attack. And if the rook is taking, well, I just won an exchange. If the queen would have been moving, I would have had a double check and probably a checkmate to follow. I will show you in the analysis. Now, okay, I'll take back with the queen, and still I have quite of a very beautiful position. Since we have, we already have we are an exchange up, but the game is not over until it's over. Very important. How to keep going here, because there is a pawn right now that is attacked twice. So I'm going to play bishop here just because I really don't want to lose my rook. So at the very least here we can trade off some pieces. Material. How many pawns do we have? So we have 4, 5, 6 pawns, and they also have 6 pawns. So actually I'm a full exchange up right now. So all trades are very good for me, and this is just giving away a free pawn. Right? I can take here, and then the bishop is getting also this diagonal where the king can be checked. Okay, the knight is just threatening to win my rook. I don't want to lose my rook, but I love tactics. And if the knight goes here, I give a check and I win the knight back. Okay, knight takes. This is a great move. Probably I didn't have to play the move a3, okay? It was a bit of a tricky move. Not really the best move. Never mind, we give a check. The king has to go back, and now I want to bring all the rest of my pieces. So let's start with the knight, and then with the rook. The bishop goes out. We activate the rook on the open file. The queen is moving up, but this is giving me a beautiful... Always make sure to check where is the queen going. Important to notice there is no attack on that diagonal. Now my knight is attacking the queen and the bishop, and the most important thing is that my knight would like to sneak in some very annoying squares. Okay, the queen is offering a trade. I'm going to take the trade of queen and get to an endgame with an extra exchange and all these weak pawns. I'm going to take also this one. Let's trade off everything we can. Now I'll win a tempo on the bishop, creating a square for my king so that I'm never going to get back rank checkmate. And now let's improve the rook. Both my rooks are in the 2 open files. Strong, young, and shining. Bishop here, offering a trade. Why not? The knight is attacking there, but also attacking this pawn. I could actually take here and counter-attacking this. And I really like it because tactics against... Yeah, because if I move this away, then the knight is coming here to give a fork. Aha! Zack, zack. Oh, it's actually good because I can take this guy. Yeah, and now this is calculated, and now knight here and knight there are both under attack, so they're actually losing a piece to take a pawn, which is not good. So material is now falling apart, and if one rook is in general very good on the 7th rank, but 2 rooks are monsters. So here my plan is just to take first of all this knight, and then to go with the other rook here, and this is gonna be very, 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 very painful. That's why here I also leave the knight hanging. I don't care. Bishop here is the only move. Pretty much the only move. Okay, very good. So they are defending the mate. So I will just bring the bishop here. The rook is protecting it. Very important. There we go. Now we trade even more. Now what is the final thing we need to do to win this game? I guess to promote this pawn. That is super simple. A super simple plan. Let's go. And go. And go. Okay, the bishop is sacrificed. Now we take, and now we go back to our original plan, which was to give checkmate. And there is nothing that black can do here. We give a check. Now the king has 1 square. We use the bishop to give a check. The king has to move, and then one or the other rook is going to finish off the dirty job. GG's. Very quick analysis. Very important to know this position because going with the knight here is a mistake. Here white is +3, and the move h6 is possible. And after knight takes, rook takes is the only move for black. If black is moving the queen here, this is checkmate in 3 moves, because now you give a double check with the knight and with the bishop. The king has to move 1 square or the other, it doesn't matter. Now you give another double check with the queen and with the knight. The king is moving, and this is checkmate. If you enjoyed this video, you will love this one, how to play aggressively against the London system with the black pieces. I love this.